Okay. My topic was consider the idea of the homeland or Watan. How do you think the novel defines a homeland? Make sure to consider the options of Farid and Asef. Also consider this question in terms of Amir and Soharb, two characters who leave Afghanistan when they are still growing up. So Amir interprets homeland fairly basically at the beginning, just like with family and stuff. Because, well, his mother's dead, so he doesn't really have that connection. But he just, for the first quarter of the book, is constantly just trying to like make his father proud, feel welcomed by his father as they're kind of distanced away from each other through the things like originally when he overheard his father talking with Ali, and he got really upset because Baba couldn't like control him and stuff, and then Amir was just like disappointed in himself that he wasn't what his father wanted. So then he tries to impress him through the things like the kite running contest and all of that. And then it also goes into his like friendship with Hassan, because like both of them grow up together like brothers and stuff until, you know, they end up leaving. He frames him, whatever. And then, but Baba kind of like takes control of that because they're both completely like different spectrums of the social standings. And then like, so Baba doesn't really let them be friends. He more just is like, oh yeah, you guys grow up with each other and talk with each other. And then later the idea of homeland to Amir kind of changes when he's like not really. He kind of makes his father proud, but it doesn't really fill that void he was looking for. And then he kind of like starts to regret what he did to Hassan to distance himself from him, which kind of plays into like, oh, it was more like a homeland with Hassan rather than without. And then, so when he impresses his father, he kind of just doesn't fill the void he was looking to fill. And then his entire home changes as the Taliban just like kind of take control. And then everything he knew and grew up on, all the like rules and stuff that he had learned, all kind of just go out the window. His home completely changed, and he's beginning to realize like home isn't really where I'm at right now. He needs to like kind of make a change in where he is because he's not really mentally okay with where he's at. Next, Amir is just kind of trying to, because he starts feeling responsible and guilty for what had happened to Hassan, because he got him killed. And then Rahim Khan kind of talks to him about Baba's past, and he begins to like make the connections like, oh, we're not complete strangers like I thought we were. And then Rahim just kind of wants him to like repent for what had happened, and this helps Amir realize like home is not with his father, as his father isn't a good one. He doesn't really comfort him and stuff like he has, and he's done bad things such as like similar to Amir, what he did to Hassan. And then as he does these, he begins to think like, I need to leave Afghanistan to help fix what's gone wrong and stuff. This leads to a like sort of adventure for Amir as he meets with Farid and learns about his whole like Soviet story and what had happened with his daughters and his hand and stuff. And then he starts changing who he is by like dressing up as other people. You know, he's like trying to take on different names, and he's experiencing things he's never experienced before, trying to really like find himself rather than just conform to what Baba had always wanted him to be and what like society in Afghanistan wants him to be after, you know, the Taliban took over and they kind of just changed everything. This journey gives Amir insight into like what other people's lives are like with Farid's brother. He learns about like, oh, he lives in like a small home with not much of anything. And all this journey just kind of like teaches Amir about like what is really valuable and stuff like in home and stuff. And this just changes. So, in conclusion, Homeland is just, it changes throughout the whole story along with Amir's perspective on life and what is valuable. And then by the end of the story, he realizes, like, kind of cliche, but he realizes home isn't just like where you're born and stuff, it's where you find happiness or you enjoy where you're at.